Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be another Slimming World weight loss update. So a few things before I get into this video. Sorry if you can hear any background noise, it's really warm today and I've got the windows open in my bedroom, so you might be able to hear a few cars. Also, to the left of me, we have a sleeping baby who could wake up at any minute. So if you hear any snuffling or noises or cars or birds or I don't know, wind, I can only apologise. And also I want to say a massive thank you for last week, because you pretty much scraped me up off the floor when I was having a really tough week. I really debated on posting that video, which is probably why it took me so long to post it, being that you're seeing this on Tuesday, which is the day I get weighed. And with that one, I didn't post it until Friday, I don't think, and I just wasn't in a very positive frame of mind. All I found like the last week really hard, and obviously if you're new to my channel, then I gained weight last week, in my second week of all weeks as well, so I was very unhappy. Well, that didn't last very long, did it? I don't know what's wrong with you today. I don't know. Are we smiling? Are we smiling? So for all of you, while I have him, that asked about Stanley and, you know, wished him well and stuff, he had bronchiolitis, was sort of diagnosed with that 2 weeks ago, and he's still got a cough, which is a bit annoying, and sometimes that can make feeding hard and stuff, which has still been a bit of an added stress at the moment. But you are doing very well, aren't you? You are doing very well and you're very happy. Yes, you are. He is 9 weeks old as of yesterday, and that means I'm 9 weeks postpartum now. And I think that the whole postpartum thing, which I'm going to go on to in a moment, is a very big reason as to why I struggled last week, and also why I have done so well this week. So I'm really excited to share this with you, because I have lost the most I have ever lost in Slimming World to date. And obviously this is my second go at getting back to target after having this one, and I stepped on the scales today and lo and behold, I actually lost 5 pounds, and that is blinking ridiculous, because 5 pounds is not a small amount of weight to lose. But what I do want to say is that obviously I've worked really hard in the past week, and I'm not going to take that away from myself one bit, but I also think the whole postpartum side of things has a lot to play in that as well. So if you saw my update from last week, I actually was on my first postpartum period after having this little one, and it was pretty horrific. It lasted for 9 days in total. I had a lot of cramping, I had a lot of backache, I bloated up like a puffer fish, my belly looked like I might as well be pregnant again because it was so swollen and tender, and I just felt hideous, to be honest. It was awful, and I got all the hormones to go with that as well, and you forget as a woman, I think, how much of an impact that has on your body. It's crazy, it really is. So it was one of those things where I thought, right, well obviously that's going to have something to do with my gain, but I wasn't banking on losing as much as I did this week as a result. I would say that considering I gained 2 pounds, I'm going to attribute 2 pounds of my loss to the fact that my period has now stopped and I'm back to normal, and obviously as you can tell, probably feeling a lot more positive as well. Okay, so now I've got Daisy as well, so this is going to be a really fun video. So obviously the period side of things did impact a lot on my weight, but what have I been doing for the past week? Like, I went back to basics, but I also employed some old tricks from last time that I knew worked for me, and I just hadn't been using them for some reason or another. Now the first thing, and I've spoken about this in so many videos, at least from last time anyway, and it's this, it's melon. I eat so much melon while I'm on Slimming World, which is a really good job actually, because I really like it, and it's really high in water content, and I find it's very filling, to the point that I had loads of melon last night and you know, the Hartley's 10-calorie jellies, which is half a tin, and I also had 2 hi-fi bars to have, and I was getting, you know, a little treat plate going on. I ate the melon first, and I always eat any speed that's on my plate or in my snack bowl or anything like that first, and by the time I'd finished that and the jelly, I was too full for the hi-fi bars, and I put them back, and it kind of reminded me that eating speed food really works. What do you think? Do you think eating speed food really works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she's gone back to play in her bedroom now. This is just going to be one of those videos. But another thing that I've been doing is drinking loads, and I mean loads. What I've noticed, especially with children, like the amount of children that I have, is that I am always putting their needs first and never ever focusing on myself. So there are days where like I barely drink anything or get to like eat anything properly because I don't have time, and I've been making time. So I've been trying to like let the house be dirty or leave work until the evenings just so I can make sure I'm looking after myself. And when it's your time of the month, you obviously gain a lot of water retention. That's like really, really normal. And the best way to flush that out is to drink. So I've been trying to drink 2 of these throughout the day, and I also have a big one before I go to bed. And what that seems to be doing for me is that yes, sometimes I might need a wee in the middle of the night, but I'm up feeding Stanley anyway, so that doesn't bother me. But I feel like in the morning I go to the toilet several times once I wake up, and I feel like I'm flushing out anything, you know, any nasties from the day before and what I'd eaten and stuff, and I just feel like it's had a really, really positive effect on me. Another thing I've been doing is measuring everything. So the measuring like cups and jugs that I mentioned in my last video, I have been using loads, like constantly. They're always being washed and they're always on the drainer next to the sink because I use them that much. It's just like a constant flow of measuring, and I feel like that is such a good way to be, because honestly, a splash of milk sometimes is a hell of a lot more than you think it is, and that's been something that I think has helped me a lot. Another thing I've been doing is actually eating all of my sins, quite a lot of the time actually. So obviously as a woman in my weight bracket, you get 15 sins maximum, and minimum you're meant to have 5, but I'm going to put my hands up and say sometimes I wouldn't even have 5, and my logic was if I eat less sins I will lose more. But sometimes you go into a bit of a calorie deficit then, and your body holds on to fat and stores it because you're not getting enough nutrient, and I feel like that might actually be the case for me. So I've just been eating my fill. I've been having massive portions of food. I like my food, of course I like my food. I love to cook. I'm not a large girl just by accident. There's obviously a reason why I gain weight, and it's because I like my food, and I've also had 2 children in quite quick succession as well. But it's one of those things, and I've just been enjoying food again and being less afraid of using my sins and trying to be really creative. And I've gone back to basics, like with my meal plans as well. I've been thinking of really exciting meals to cook, and I share those on here anyway. So if you want to sort of find out what I eat and what I'm cooking and what I'm buying with Summer World, then I will leave a playlist to one of my grocery hauls down below. It's now another 2 weigh-ins I think until I go on holiday, and I'm really quite aware that I am going to gain while I'm away, but I would really like to lose like maybe £2 a week before I go, which would take me to my half a stone a wall, because now I've lost £5.5 in total. And it's a shame that that's not more, given that I gained last week, but I honestly think that that was kind of out of my control, and I didn't deserve to lose. I didn't try very hard. I had a poorly baby in hospital, had a period from hell, and that's just the way things are. And thank you so much for reminding me of all of that, because I was at a stage where I just felt like giving up. I really, really was, but I'm glad that I didn't, because like, look at the difference of me this week. Like, I'm not nearly in tears and I'm a lot perkier. I've got Zumba again tonight. So Zumba is every Tuesday with my mum, as is weigh-in in the morning. So I feel like Tuesdays are like my day to really like look after me and like champion myself. And I'm really excited now and enthusiastic about making this my year. Like, obviously my kids are always going to come first and my family are always going to come first, but I matter too, and you know, if you're watching this, you matter too. So whatever your circumstances are, don't give up on yourself like I almost did last week, because my heart was calling out for pizza, but my head was trying to listen to everything that you were saying to me, and I'm really, really glad that I did. So I'm going to quickly show you what my body looks like now. I feel like I'm actually a little bit smaller, hopefully. I'll do that now, try and put this little limpet down, and then I will let you go. So this is me with clothes on. This is just a top that I think I got from Dorothy Perkins while I was still pregnant, and it fits much nicer now, especially in my arms, weirdly, and my stomach. And then this is me from the side, and I am noticing a massive difference from like here downwards. I just feel like a lot of my bloat has gone from having a baby, and I feel like I'm starting to slowly get my shape back, although I would say that I'm a lot thicker in the middle still, and I'm hoping that my waist slowly comes back over time. I do of course have the old saggy belly and lots of loose skin here and flabbiness to get rid of, but that's why I'm doing Slimming World, and hopefully in time we can turn this up a little bit. So that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm trying to keep it a little bit shorter because I realise that I do ramble on sometimes, but let me know in the comments down below how you've done this week and whether or not you've got like any meal suggestions or treats or snacks that you found that are really, really worthwhile trying, because I am all about a Slimming World friendly snack, especially sweet ones, because I am loving the sweet treats at the moment. And yeah, just remember, if you've had a bad week for whatever reason that is, then just remember that there's always next week. You can always keep going, you can always try it, and you can change your look as well. So don't give up, and well done if you've had a really good loss as well, because you're doing amazingly. Trust me, it doesn't matter how much comes off as long as it's coming off, and that is the main thing. So yeah, have a lovely day whatever you're up to, or evening I guess when you're watching this, and yeah, take care, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye.